Hey everyone, it's Aaron Schechter from the Wet Shaver Review and 365shaves.com, coming to you today with a UK themed based soap review. Today, once again, I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. We know what I'm looking for in a soap, which we're looking at our packaging, our scent, our lather, and our slickness or glide. So for today's UK themed soap, I picked probably one that most people have difficulties with, and I personally do not. So I reviewed it, and I'm going to review it from my standpoint. Your mileage may vary, as always with any product, and everything, once again, is always subjective to the user. So for today's review, I'm sure just by my introduction, a lot of you have already figured out that I used Mitchell's Wool Fat. Mitchell's Wool Fat, as it says here, was actually formulated in 1893. So we're talking about a soap that has been in production and in this world of wet shaving and traditional shaving. Back in 1893, it wasn't traditional shaving, it was just shaving, for well over 100 years. That's what, 120 years, 121 years, something like that. That's a long time for a soap company to be in business, and like I always say, they wouldn't be in business for 121 years if they didn't do it right. So obviously people can make a lather with this soap. So, and that seems to be the biggest complaint. But so let me get into the review. So packaging, number one, you have many options with Mitchell's Wool Fat. You can get it in a wooden presentation, you can get a refill puck, you can get it in an aluminum tin, or you can get it in, I think what they would consider the ultimate packaging, which is what I actually went with when I first bought it, which is the ceramic dish. Now the ceramic dish is a double-edged sword. It's just talking about packaging alone. Number one, what I like about it is it's beautiful. It's very nice. It's very ornate. There's craftsmanship that went into it. It was obviously you know, I doubt that it's hand turned. It's probably, you know, a mold that's put in the machine. At this point, Mitchell's probably, you know, has been around long enough that they don't have some guy sitting behind a potter's wheel making these, you know, one out of clip. Though I could be very wrong on that, so don't, you know, quote me or call up Mitchell's and tell them that, you know, I said that they don't do it by hand, because I really don't know. I'm just making an assumption here. But the presentation is very nice. They did a great job with the ceramic dish. Did a great job with the logo, with the labeling. It's on there very solid. Here's the downside. It's breakable. It's very breakable. Not kind of breakable, but if you drop it, it's not going to go and break into one tiny piece. It's going to break into a million little pieces all over the place, or it's going to crack and you're going to have a worthless container. Okay, so you have to be very careful when you put it on your shelf, or you put it into your shave den. Put it someplace where it's not on an edge, or it's going to get hit by something, or you're going to drop you know, you're not going to drop your long-handled Recurve Progress razor on top of it and crack it, because you're going to be really pissed off if you do. Just a heads up. I've never broken it, obviously, but I know it could happen. It's just common sense that it can happen. Okay, moving forward to the scent of Mitchell's Wool Fat soap. Well, it definitely has a scent. Okay, when you say Mitchell's Wool Fat, the first thing I think of is wool, so I think of sheep, and I think of fat. This is a lanolin based soap. It does not smell like sheep, which is a good thing, and it does not smell like fat, which I don't know what fat smells like, but doesn't sound appealing to me. With Mitchell's Wool Fat, actually smells very powdery floral. That's the best way I could put it. Powdery floral with a perfumey scent. I would almost say it's almost a unisex scent to it. It's not necessarily masculine or feminine. It's just an aromatic, powdery, perfumey type of aroma to it. It's an enjoyable scent. Once again, it's earthy. It is not, when I say perfumey, I'm not saying it's like you know, opium or nothing like that, you know, perfumey. I mean perfumey more like a very light type of perfume, type of a smell to it. Kind of like something like I would say very old school. Like if you would think of, I hate to use this comparison, almost like an old woman's type of like a Claiborne scent. No offense to Liz Claiborne, but like almost like a older Claiborne scent is what it reminds me of. The scent is very good. It's not, in my opinion, great. It's very good. Classic. That's another good word for it. A classic perfumey scent. Now let's move on to the lather. Now, I already said in the very beginning of this review, a lot of people have problems making a lather with this soap. I have very hard water, and I have very little problems making lather with this soap. I'm going to attach in this review the 2 videos that I made with tutorials on how to both face lather and bowl lather with Mitchell's Wolfat soap. Now, both of those videos are very long, okay, and I made them very long on purpose because I went very slowly to show everyone the steps that they needed to go through, and I was just very concise and very slow. I can make a very, and when I say, I'm going to go back to that word voluptuous that I use when I do these reviews, this soap will literally fall off my face onto the floor. That's how thick I can make this soap. This soap, if I do the right combination, I literally can get this thing to the point that it's falling off my face onto the floor. It's probably one of the best lathering soaps I have, period. So I have pretty much the exact opposite experience that a lot of other people do for whatever reason. I just think that I took a lot of time to learn how to do the proper water to soap ratio. I also learned that bore brushes are preferable, though I actually used a badger brush in one of my tutorials and got very good results as well. So I would say the lather is very good with Mitchell's Wolfat, and I wouldn't have any qualms telling anyone it is very good. It's just you need to really take your time and really perfect it. It's not a soap you're going to get instant results with. It's something you have to work a little bit for. I found personally, and a little bit of a shout out to Mark, also known as Mantic59. I found his videos to be very helpful in the beginning when I started using Mitchell's Wolfat to help me out, to kind of point me in a direction that I was able to at least get a baseline to see what worked for him. It worked for me, and I was able to kind of add to his process to better suit my needs. So that said, lather's awesome. Let's get to Glide. Now, it's a lanolin based soap. Lanolin is a wonderful, wonderful moisturizer. It's also a wonderful, wonderful slippery substance. So as far as Glide goes, as long as you have the right water to soap ratio and you build the proper lather, your Glide is going to be phenomenal. You're not going to have many soaps that can compete with Mitchell's Wolfat for Glide and having that razor effortlessly slide across your face, whether it's a straight razor, double edge, or single edge blade. It's going to slide effortlessly across your face. So, in conclusion, packaging, you have a couple options. I'm going to base it off the ceramic dish, though you do have the options of wooden bowl, aluminum refill puck, and you can put it in whatever you want, whether it be a Tupperware bowl or whatever you prefer to keep your soap in. As far as scent goes, I would consider it mostly powdery. I have found, and also just so you know, I find that Pinaud Special Reserve is probably the perfect pairing to go along with Mitchell's Wolfat soap. So Mitchell's Wolfat and Pinaud Special Reserve have a very similar scent. If you've smelled Pinaud Special Reserve, that'll give you a really good idea of scent of Mitchell's Wolfat, which is like a powdery floral scent. I find it enjoyable, but I also like old-time classic scents and smells, and that's why I kind of use a straight razor and double-edged razors. I kind of like the vintage style of doing things, or else I'd be using a Mach 3. So that being said, moving on to lather, as long as you take your time, you might not get great results in the very beginning, but if you take your time, you put in the effort, you're going to come out with a great lather. Which now ties into Glide. As long as you get that great lather, you're going to be hard-pressed to find a better lubricant than lanolin to help that blade slide across your face and to get a wonderful, wonderful shave from Mitchell's Wolfat. I highly, highly recommend this soap if you're going to be willing to take the time to perfect it, or you might get lucky and just hit a home run right on the first use. And you know, usually soft water works very well with it, so you might want to just use distilled water right from the get-go, or if you have soft water to begin with, you should be golden, no problems. So on that note, I'm Aaron from 365 Shaves and the Wet Shaver Review. I hope this was informative. Please read the sidebar notes and the scoring, and as always, get your shaves on. God bless. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed watching the video. Have a great evening, everyone. Bye-bye.